Hey everyone, Tiz here. Happy New Year. Hope you all had a great Christmas as well. And I'm back with a new video. It's been a wee while since I have posted, just that time of year where it's busy during the holiday period. But now I'm going to be back at it, and also with my FZ1 as well, which you can see here just behind me. So I have unfortunately sold the R3. I only have space for one motorbike here, and I've taken my FZ1 down from Christchurch in New Zealand, and so I now have my original bike that I have generally always used for the past pretty much 6 years now. So this video today is specifically going to be on how being a pilot makes me a different kind of rider. So I haven't announced it before on my channel here, but I am a pilot, and specifically a flight instructor, and there's a lot of carryover which I have learnt in the role of aviation and currently doing my day-to-day job, which I carry into actually riding motorcycles themselves. So there's a lot of carryover between the both, and I'm going to get into that in this video for you today. So in aviation, before flying any aircraft, you have to do something called a pre-flight, and I use that same mentality doing my pre-flight in my job to doing that to my motorcycle before I actually go and ride. So a pre-flight would generally include the whole exterior check of a aircraft, a control surface check, fuel check, as well as oil check. So you're checking the whole thing every time you fly. And so I apply this to riding my motorcycles as well. So in this scenario for a motorcycle, and specifically my FZ1, might be something like checking the lights, make sure they all work, the indicators, that they all work, also checking the oil level, tyre pressures, tyre tread, and also making sure that the chain is in good nick, it's been serviced, so the tension is correct and it has lube or chain lubrication on it of some form. So I usually do that. It only takes a few minutes to do it on the motorcycle, compared to maybe about 15 minutes to 20 minutes on an aircraft before we actually fly. Now, situational awareness is huge in flying aircraft. You always have to be well aware of what's happening around you and how you are operating the aircraft itself. Inherently with flying in aviation, there is a lot of risk and a lot of danger if things aren't done correctly. So you always have to be on your game. And I translate that over to my motorcycling as well. So on a motorcycle, I'm making sure I'm always aware of my surroundings, the traffic, the roads that I'm on, potentially any potholes, bumps, dirt, gravel that could be on the road as well. Also how I'm specifically riding the motorcycle and what I'm trying to get out of my motorbike as well. So I'm always being aware of myself and of the environment around me as well. So that's super important, and that's helped me heaps from aviation and translating that over to motorcycles. Okay, the next one that makes me a better and different rider is visual scanning. So this relates a lot to situational awareness. The two go hand in hand, but specifically with visual scanning in an aircraft, we are always scanning the horizon, always watching where we're going and where other traffic could be. Now, when we're scanning the horizon, we're also looking up before we climb in the aircraft, or looking down below us before we descend the aircraft as well. And before any kind of turn, we always do big head checks, so from one wing all the way to the other side, to the other wing. And so I translate this to also riding my motorcycle as well, where I'm always doing big head checks. Once again, you don't know with other drivers on the road what they could be doing and what they're planning. So I'm always looking down side streets, looking at other vehicles, doing big head checks, who's beside me, also who's behind me before pulling out from anywhere as well. So I'm always doing those kind of big scans while I'm riding the motorcycle, which is super important in aviation, and it's one of those massive things that you always have to do. So that's another thing I do as well. The next one is always assessing risk. In aviation and flying an aircraft, you always have to assess the risk, and this is in the form of go or no-go decisions. Also, in terms of go or no-go decisions, you always have points in your flight, okay, and you're making a decision whether you're going to continue or maybe you're going to head back. You always have to consider the consequences as well, or I'm always personally considering the consequences of every action that I do personally in the aircraft. and this also relates a lot to riding your motorcycle or my motorcycle as well. Like for example, in the form, like I mentioned just before, other drivers on the road, other traffic, could be wind, rain, road conditions, not doing any kind of silly overtakes, you know, right by blind corners or anything like that. So I'm always assessing the consequences, not only when I'm flying, but also with my own riding as well. Not doing anything stupid or anything that could put me or other people in danger as well. And the next one that makes me a different rider is power management. When flying a plane, you're always managing the power, and this is more so really important for the takeoff, also for your landings as well. So you don't just set one power setting for a landing, you have to constantly change it depending on the wind that you have, any wind gusts, so you have controllability of the aircraft. Along with that as well, in an aircraft you have structural limitations too, so you're always being aware of that. If it's really windy, you can't be over speeding the aircraft or going past something called its maneuvering speed, because that can get quite dangerous and cause structural damage if you do any abrupt movement at a fast airspeed, you could say. Also with that is flying in the mountains, so just naturally where I live here in New Zealand, in the South Island, surrounded by mountains, all my flying is pretty much done in the mountains and teaching students the techniques to use while in the mountains as well. And this is the same for my FC1, specifically being a 1000cc motorcycle, and it has no traction control, no rider aids, so I'm always conscious of the power that I use and what I'm doing with my throttle hand. I can't just whack it open, wide open, and there could potentially be any dirt, dust, anything on the road that could spin the tyre, slip it, end up causing any kind of high sides or anything like that. So I'm really careful with my power management and considering the environment that I'm in with how much throttle I am using as well. Now when flying an aircraft, you use your power as required. I'm going to teach my students to use power as required in terms of what outcome or output they want from the aircraft, and it's same with riding the motorcycle. I want to be smooth on the power and use it as required. So the input I want is going to be smooth and controlled, and that's going to also give me the desired outcome I want from riding my motorcycle as well. And the last one, which also ties in with power management, is the raw analog feel. And this is specifically more so to do with my motorcycle being a 2006 FZ1. It has, once again, no rider aids, it has no ABS, no traction control, no rider modes, and it's all based purely on rider skill. So how I control the bike is going to determine ultimately what the bike does itself, and there's going to be nothing there to save me if I'd say use too much power and it's wet, it's rainy, and just crack open the throttle, get that rear tyre spinning. There's no traction control. Also with hard braking as well, if I slam on the brakes, say front brake, just grab a whole bunch of it, that's going to end up locking up that front tyre. Same with the rear as well, there's no ABS to help stop that too. So when referring this to flying an aircraft, for the smaller aircraft specifically, like teaching students how to fly in a Cessna, it's all stick and rudder skills, so you want them to pick that up early using stick and rudder skills in order to maneuver the aircraft. And that's super important, and that's something you have to learn early on in flying, and that's a skill you learn and build as you get more experience as well. It's very much so the same with riding a more powerful motorcycle, and that's why it's important for anyone that's new that's getting into riding motorcycles, that you start on a smaller CC bike and then move your way up, because it's important, as you've probably seen many other videos, to build the foundation and your fundamentals and your stick and rudder skills. So riding a motorcycle, and then once you've built up that skill set, you can then move on to something a little bit more powerful, because you have those skills now built to manage the extra power and the extra weight that would go with a bigger motorcycle, essentially. So I'm always careful of the inputs I put in, and therefore of the outputs I get out from the motorcycle. Okay, so that is it from me today. Hopefully that gave you a little bit of insight on how aviation has helped mold me into the rider I currently am. If you want to know more about my FC1, I'm going to do another video all specifically about it. But you can see here, it's a 06 Gen 2 FZ1 with 140,000 kilometers on the clock, which is I think roughly 87,000 miles, and it's still going. And actually next week I'm just about to take it on for a track day as well, so that's going to be super exciting. And keep an eye out for the next video. Thanks for watching. If you had any value from this video, please subscribe, please like the video, and add any comments or any questions below, and I'll be sure to help answer it. So thanks for watching, and see you later.